This is a Coleman Industrial 12,000 horsepower outboard. It has not ran in quite some time, so we need to make sure that it still operates. That's obviously just a joke. This is just my generator. It is hurricane season and I have not ran this thing yet this year, so I need to make sure that this thing runs. It is in dire need of a service, but that is not what she is going to get today. Today we're just going to make sure that it runs and operates. It's not locked over. I need to go ahead and take this spark plug out. It is just like every other engine. I'm going to take this plug out, put some oil in there to make sure everything's good. I need to come over here and check my dipstick, make sure that I got good oil in the bottom of it. So what are we looking like here? Just above, it's right at the top, really full. Actually, it's probably a little bit over full. Might have been splashing around a little bit when I moved it. So let's see here. Boom, right on the full mark. Not sure if you can really see that, but it's right at the top of the hatch marks, which is perfect. That is just what I want to see. Now, it's obviously going to need a battery. I'm going to need to hook that up to some jumper cables, that way I can get to start. But what I want to do is take that spark plug out, put some oil in the cylinder, move it over a couple times to get everything lubed up, and then we'll try and get this thing to start with some fresh fuel. I'm probably going to need to pull this off and get to the carburetor. Just got some clips here. Take these clips off. It's got the air box right there. Take the air filter off. Ooh, that air filter is definitely not in good condition. I'm gonna need a new air filter for this thing. That foam's all jacked up. That's gonna be a breathing problem, but so our spark plug is a little chalky. She needs to be a little clean here. Go ahead and put a little bit of some Super Zilla down in this bad boy. Roll it over a couple times. Ooh, yeah. Now that I'm gonna slip and fall. Move on to make sure that we can get some good fuel to the engine. We just gotta get these 3 10 mils off of here, pop those out, and this whole plate will come out and we'll be able to get to the carburetor. Alright, I got everything lubed up. I pretty much just kind of moved my choke a little bit. See, here's the choke. Kind of move that back and forth and open up the throttle plates in there. Got those lubed up, make sure they are working. But then also there's this thing right here. It's like a little lever thing that goes down and it comes over here to this solenoid. There's a solenoid back there. Those 2 wires are going to it, and that runs that little rod right there, and that rod then that's kind of how it controls the idle or whatever they call it. They call it, yeah, idle control. So that's kind of like how that thing runs. And ooh, 27. So we only got 27 hours on the generator. So awesome. But now what I need to do is go ahead and get fuel to it. I shouldn't have to mess with the carburetor because I just shut the fuel off right there. It's got a little dial back on that thing right there. So when I shut it off, I just let it run and it runs itself out of fuel with treated fuel. So we should be able to just turn the fuel on and be able to choke it and crank this thing over, and she should fire up and run. If not, then we'll have to pull the carburetor and clean it, but hopefully I don't have to do that. Just have to reach back here and do this dial, and we should see some fuel come down into there. So, nope, she's completely empty. No, we got some fuel in there. So, that thing's open. There it goes. It was just vapor locked. So, Now we got fuel. Once I pulled the cap, it was just completely vapor locked. So now we got fuel to the carburetor. Now let's go ahead and see if this thing starts and runs. Alright, so I shut the fuel off, let it go ahead and burn all the fuel out of the carb, so now she's ready to be put away. Okay, I got her all back together. Carburetor's back on there, or not the carburetor, but the air filter, and that assembly is back on there. I drained the fuel, let it die without any fuel in there. So it is in dire need of a service, but that'll be later on. I just wanted to make sure that she was good to go and test it before the season gets here for hurricanes. And I know that it is only July, but at the same time, I mean, technically it's hurricane season, but I kind of see hurricane season more like September, August, and October. That's usually when the bad storms are here, so that's kind of my thought. But I tested all these. I did not get to test the 240, which needed to be done, but I did not get around to it. Either way, this is good to go. 27.9 hours on it. And yeah, I'd say that was successful. I know it was not boating related, but I needed to do it, so I appreciate you hanging out with me while I got my generator running.